Imagine paying the price of a luxury house for a single flower bulb. Not a diamond, not gold, not a piece of land, just a tulip. It sounds impossible today, but in the Dutch Republic of the 1630s, ordinary people poured their life savings into tulip bulbs, convinced the price could only keep rising. Fortunes were made almost overnight, and then, just as quickly, they disappeared. Some called it history's greatest lesson in greed. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. 400 years later, we're still making the same mistakes. This is the story of Tulip Mania. A small country that has somehow become a global superpower. Its merchant ships dominate world trade. Its banks finance kings and empires. Its cities are rich, crowded and confident. In 1602, Amsterdam opened what many consider the world's first modern stock exchange, created to trade shares in the Dutch East India Company. This is the first multinational corporation in history. Speculation isn't new here. It's normal, it's respected. Amsterdam is the financial capital of Europe, and when people are wealthy, they start to look for new things to invest in. The most important question to first answer is, why did tulips become valuable? Tulips weren't native to Europe. They arrived from the Ottoman Empire, brought through diplomatic gifts and trade routes in the late 1500s. At first, they were just beautiful. But then something strange happened. Some tulips developed dramatic flame-like streaks, reds, purples, whites, cutting through the petals. These patterns were caused by a virus, though no one knew that at the time. What mattered was this: these broken tulips couldn't be reliably reproduced. Plant one bulb and the next flower might look completely different. That made each bulb unpredictable and therefore rare. Suddenly, tulips weren't flowers, they were luxury collectibles. Owning a rare tulip meant you were rich, you were cultured, you had taste, and you were ahead of everyone else. Prices began to rise, slowly at first, then faster. By the mid-1630s, tulip trading exploded. But most people weren't trading actual tulips anymore. They were trading contracts, promises to buy or sell a tulip at a future date, often after it was harvested from the ground. These contracts were called windhandel, literally wind trade. No bulbs changed hands, just paper agreements. Deals were made in taverns, inns and back rooms, not formal exchanges. No regulators, no margin requirements, no protections. Farmers, bakers, artisans, merchants, everyone joined in. A single bulb of a rare variety, like Semper Augustus, could sell for the price of a large house on an Amsterdam canal, or 10 times the annual income of a skilled craftsman. People sold off land, businesses, livestock, family heirlooms, all for tulips. Why? Because prices had never fallen, and in bubbles, that's all people need to believe. By early 1637, tulip prices had completely detached from reality. Contracts changed hands multiple times in a single day. People bought bulbs they had never seen from sellers who didn't own them, using money they didn't actually have. Then, in February 1637, something small but fatal happened. At a routine tulip auction, buyers simply didn't show up. No bids, no excitement, just silence. That silence triggered panic. Word spread fast and the buyers vanished overnight. Prices collapsed within days, not months. Flower bulbs that had sold for fortunes were suddenly worth almost nothing. And the cruelest detail? Most tulip contracts were informal and unenforceable. The courts refused to treat them as binding debts. If you agreed to buy a tulip for the price of a house and then changed your mind, there was no legal consequences. Buyers simply walked away. Sellers were ruined. Life savings disappeared. Families were financially destroyed all over flowers. Despite the legend, Tulip Mania did not destroy the entire Dutch economy. Trade continued, banks survived, the Republic endured. But for those involved in the tulip trade, it was catastrophic. Tulip Mania became a warning story repeated for centuries. Not because it was the biggest crash in history, but because it was the purest. No revolutionary technology, no economic transformation, just speculation feeding on itself. Tulip Mania wasn't really about flowers. It was about greed, FOMO, social pressure, the belief that prices could only go up. The same forces behind the 1929 Wall Street crash, the dot-com bubble, crypto booms and bursts, meme stocks, different assets, same psychology. 400 years later, we're all still buying tulips.